Hey everybody, today is July 29th. I'm Gene and welcome to the Monday edition of Hanging with Uncle. I have to open by saying happy birthday, blah, 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 blah. Happy birthday to my brother Michael, my oldest brother, and love you man, hope you're having a wonderful day. So, now that Kamala Harris is running for president, I hear once again the the right trying to downplay her accomplishments and call her a DEI selection for vice president. Now, let's talk about that because Kamala Harris is a brilliant, accomplished woman. Uh, Graduated from Howard University, got her law degree, passed the bar exam, practiced law, got elected to the prosecutor's office, got elected to the attorney general's office. And these are elections. These are things that she has earned. So let's make no mistake about it. When I hear somebody saying DEI, it's just a new way to call somebody the N word. All right? Because, oh, she's just a DEI hire that Biden picked. Um, you know that, let's put that in perspective, okay? Because DEI is just another way, again, of saying affirmative action, which means anyone of color or any woman that gets a job is just a diversity hire, which means there's always a white man who should have gotten the job. That's what they're telling you, okay? And that's what they say when they talk about making America great again. They're just talking about making it, white again. Like when we had no diversity for the first 189 years of this country, when women nor black people had the right to vote, the right to own property, um, the right to have an education, equal opportunities under the law. So we had affirmative action from 1776 to 1965. It was just affirmatively white men were going to get the job because that's what this country is supposed to be, run by white men. And that's all there is to it. Occasionally, you'll have somebody of color who got lucky enough to put on their knee pads and work inside the plantation instead of out in the field, like Byron Donalds, Clarence Thomas, Uncle Tim Scott, Ben Carson. You get my drift. Are any of those people considered DEI? Or is it only when people on the left side of the aisle get it? When Kamala Harris works her way up and accomplishes what she's accomplished just to be considered DEI by white people? So let's talk about what DEI is. DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? So let's take those three words and think about it, right? So, diversity is a state of being diverse or a variety. Now, that's what it says on all the money we print, e pluribus unum, out of many, one, not out of many, one white man. So, if you are against diversity, you might be a white supremacist. Let's talk about equity. Now, it seems like that should be a very easy word to define, but the dictionary defines equity as the quality of being fair and impartial, equity of treatment. So, what's wrong with being fair to everyone, to treating people equally, to treating people the way you want to be treated? Right? I'm not saying always give me a leg up. I'm not talking about uh, life not being fair. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is purposefully going out of your way to make sure your friend, colleague, church associate, whoever it is, gets preferential treatment. And that part's okay. But heaven forbid somebody of color qualified actually gets selected for a position. So, if you believe that equity is a bad thing, you might be a white supremacist. Now let's talk about what inclusion means. And again, it should be pretty easy. Inclusion is the action or state of including or being included within a group or structure. So right now, this group that we have, that we belong in, is called the United States of America. We the people, again, e pluribus unum. And everyone is supposed to have the same opportunities to improve themselves and increase the chances of success with, considering you make all the right choices and work hard and make friends, basically don't do any harm. But, thinking like that is beyond the scope of those who think that DEI is a bad thing. Again, it's just another term that was used to replace affirmative action. Again, it was okay as long as, affirmative action for 189 years from 1776 to 1965, that kind of affirmative action was fine. But, so again, if you think that DEI, if you think diversity, equity, and inclusion are bad things, you might be a white supremacist. You might need to really take a look at the definition of words, open it up, read, and understand, comprehend. That's what reading comprehension is all about, understanding what words mean. So, again, if you're screaming about DEI, just look in the mirror to find out what the problem is, because that's where it exists. To accuse someone of not being qualified or deserving of a position that they have worked their entire life for, you can pretty much guarantee that you might have white supremacist tendencies. So get over yourself. And I watched at a rally from Cadet Bone Spurs last night how he talked about, people say her name is pronounced this way, it's pronounced that way. I really could care less. And I believe that it's not important enough for him to treat a woman, especially a woman of color, with the respect to earn her name. But, like her husband said, that's all right. He doesn't have to worry about learning how to pronounce her name. After November, he can just call her Madam President. Anyway, please hit that subscribe button if you like this content, and hit that like button. Help, spread the word we exist out there in the universe. And hit that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever we go live and put new content out there. I'm Gene. That's all we have time for today. Remember, be kind to one another and treat each other the way you want to be treated.